All right, welcome in everybody to PM in the AM. That's right, you got Pat, you got Mike, and my voice in the background, Big Al, bringing you all the Philly sports that you know from the week. It's gonna be a tough one today, guys. What do we got for them?
Well, it's there. We are at the point of no return. We're at the point. Where does Philly sports go from here? Um, it's been 72 hours since we've seen the Philadelphia Phillies and the Philadelphia Eagles kind of fall on their faces. Two teams in the city that we kind of hang our hats on to carry the load because the 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers are going through the motions, kind of a rebuild. Not so much the Sixers, but we know where they stand. It's kind of status quo, and the Flyers obviously going through a rebuild. Looked good last night for the Fly Boys, but we're going to get into them a little later.
Yeah, they got screwed. They got screwed last night. I ain't trying to hear that. Let's just call it like it was. Yeah. Coffee roll, Pat. Coffee roll. But yeah, they did. They got screwed last night. And as far as Philadelphia sports, it's been a bad week. Since last Saturday, it's been a bad week. But I'm still optimistic. What happened to the Phillies happened to the Phillies. Again, to me, I'm not going to blame Orion Kirkering. As you can see, I'm not wearing no Phillies gear today. I have no Philadelphia sports stuff on today. So I am, I'm a little angry about what happened. If you want to throw Penn State in there, look at Al. Al's, he's still rocking the Iron Pigs, and Pat's just here. And he's gone.
And not anymore. And he's gone. Is that all it took all these years, Mike Lauro? It just took that. It just took that. But keep going. Sorry, bud.
But no, man, like if you look at this over the last couple weeks, man, or I should say the last week, okay, of what's been going on in our our sports landscape, if there is a positive that I want to take out of what happened over the last week, or if you would just want to go since Thursday, it's our Flyers. Okay. They're not really moving much. Hold on. They're not moving much on the offensive of it, but defensively, they're playing a hell of a lot better in front of their goaltenders. Okay, they lost by 1 in regulation to a Florida, the defending Cup champions. Then they got to go up and play probably the second best team, I would say, in the Eastern Conference last night. Now, last night their defense was kind of last night, but opening night, I watched that Flyers game as I was, in here watching the Phillies and also watching, the Eagles. Wow. That game on Thursday night, again, it kind of reared its ugly head with the Flyers of not having enough talent. Like you look at that Florida team's head and shoulders better than the Flyers, and the Flyers hung with them. And kind of shut them down, and kind of shut them down. I mean, that score, if it wasn't for Villar, that game would have been, a lot worse than what it was, especially early on. The first period and a half on Thursday, Florida was living in the Flyers zone. So for them to only lose that game 2-1, that says something. Last night was a little bit more of an offensive battle. Like I said, they got hosed last night, but the Flyers really they're showing me something this year early on that they didn't show any of last year, and that's fight. Okay? You're seeing the closeness. Like, come on, dude. Mitchkov's dropping the gloves and going after somebody. We didn't see that last year.
Mike, what are you watching, dude? The Flyers' defense has been leaving holes. It's the goaltending has actually been decent. Danny Vaneltard has been really, really good. And Sam Harrison last night stood on his head. I mean, he really played well. When he's being challenged for that 1A goaltender spot, he's really, really good. He's really, really good. Again, he didn't play this well last year because there was no one to challenge him. Carter Hart was there the year before that challenged him, that made him a better goaltender. He's getting challenged for that position. He's getting challenged, and you saw that he didn't start game 1. Sam Harrison had to ride the bench. He came out strong yesterday. He looked really, really sharp. Again, stopped 16 shots in the first period. I mean, you faced 40 shots, stopped 37 of them. He was really, really good. I mean, the defense has issues. Offense is still having issues. I mean, offense didn't get anything going till that half of the first period, and the third period they didn't do anything. They only got 4 shots off. It's been the same story with this team. I mean,
but Pat, you got to look at the competition that they're playing. They're not playing teams that are
fourth youngest team in the league.
Yes.
Team in the league.
Yeah, they're the 4th youngest team in the league. And look at the 2 teams they're playing. The 2 teams they're playing literally have been the top of the Eastern Conference for the last 3 or 4 years. Like, come on, dude. Like, when we broke down this schedule, there's no way you can look at this optimistically other than going, hey, man, there's a real good possibility they could be 0-6. The fact that they got a point out of last night's game, to me, that's saying something, and they are fighting back.
No, and the one team that really, the line that I'm really excited for is the Noah Cates line. Noah Cates, Bobby Brink, the young guns of this team. That's the line I'm excited to watch because they're fast. Again, last night, that line itself was bringing tons of pressure
on
the Canes last night, and they looked puzzled. And like you said, I had a lot of people on the post-game show checking in, not happy with this goaltender interference call. I mean, it should have been.
That was Bill. That was so bullshit. It wasn't even funny.
I don't know if Vegas had a hand on this because Carolina was supposed to win or what. But the Flyers clearly won this game to me. This was going to be Tockett's first win as a Flyers head coach. And I was wrong about Tockett. I was wrong. I thought. I mean, then again, like I said, I questioned the offense. But for him to get these jump guns, kind of listen to his message, getting these guys rocking and rolling, I'm okay with it. And I'm glad of what I saw. Again, the Noah Cates, the Bobby Bryant guys were bringing pressure often and early. And I gotta give one to Travis Sanheim the Behind, because he's slow on defense, but his offensive game was a little bit of a help yesterday.
Did I hear that? Did I hear that correctly?
Dude, yeah.
We're live. I can't edit out this dumb answer here. All right, I just gotta point this out.
Yes. And where's that guy? Adam Popple, my dog. He goes.
What's up, Adam?
Well, considering the competition they face, they're also missing a few defensemen. Yeah, but Mike, excuse me, Adam.
That's Adam. That's Adam. That begins with an A.
Adam. A.
Words, names, they're tough.
Well, listen, Adam. One, they played again. They're playing better on defense. Like I said, they're leaving holes on defense. They are, and B, like Travis Sanheim is not great, but again, he has a little better of an offensive game than he does defensive game. He glides on nights where there's stellar competition running after him. I mean, come on, Adam. Who cares whether it's on the road or at home? I mean, be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they showed me something over these first 2 games, and we'll get to see how it goes forward as they get ready to come home to play Florida again.
Yes.
Again, they got a tough slate, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from these guys. I really am. So, getting back to what we were talking about with Philly sports landscape, I'm not really worried about the Eagles. You could sit there and say that they played a bad game, but I'm really not worried about them. Again, this is getting used to a different play caller and probably a different system, a little bit of a different system. I think they kept some of the same things from Kellen Moore. I mean, you would have to think Patullo's got to change some of the things up, because this way, there's a whole season of stuff that they did a year ago, so on tape. So I'm going to be a little more patient with them. They are missing some key guys on defense. Okay, no Nolan Smith, edge rushing last week. They didn't have Jalen Carter last week, and they didn't have Landon Dickerson on the offensive line. So when your lines as banged up as that the 2 lines are right now, you got to roll with those players. The best thing that could have happened, and I will say this, Thursday night, I do believe that they took the Giants lightly. And I believe the Giants kicked their ass up and down, and they had every right to do so. So when you don't respect your opponent, you get your butt kicked.
I just don't think it's that. I just think that, again, because they ran the ball heavy and they did get some moves, but again, all they had to do was stack the box, shut it down, force them to throw, force Jalen Hurts to be one-dimensional, and then they played Jalen Hurts, drop back in coverage, make him play pocket passer, and Jalen Hurts cannot play pocket passer.
Whoa, stop.
For 4 quarters.
Stop.
He can't.
Stop. He almost threw for 300 yards.
But hold on.
Come on,
I'm not
stop
finished,
with that
though.
now.
Hold on. I'm
Hold
not
on.
finished.
Go ahead.
Because you have a wideout that doesn't even look like he's engaged of playing the game anymore for this team. He looks like he's cashed out and wants to move on. And it's hurting Jalen because he needs weapons to get open. And he can rely on two guys now in the out there who can get open. And that's Devontae and Goddard. He doesn't have a guy who, again, Jalen, what's AJ? He's not even moving, 10 yards down the field at most, 10, 15 yards down the field to get open. I mean, that's where he's making his bread and butter is these short routes. I mean, there's nothing like a long field. He's a catch and no deep bomb or nothing.
Pat,
Here we are.
Pat, what game were you watching the other night? What game were you watching?
Well, I was watching the same one as you.
Well, then obviously you weren't paying attention because A.J. Brown was second in receiving. He had 80 yards. He had more yards than Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert led the way. So what are you talking about? And Hurts almost threw for 300
catching.
yards.
I said deep bombs. Deep bombs.
Okay, so
deep bomb.
Okay, so
he's getting the small routes.
Wait, D bombs? What are D bombs?
Deep bombs. He's not catching anything deep.
I don't know, man, because I don't know about that because I'm looking at his stats last. He was 24 of 33 for 283 yards. He was,
but nothing deep though. Nothing deep. It looks like it's cross routes and a little bit on the sides. There's nothing like he's catching like a 25 deep.
Well, number one, A.J. Brown is a guy that you throw the ball short to and you let him run after the catch. Same thing with Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith can be your deep threat. Okay, but that's A.J. Brown's game. That's been his game the whole time he's been in the NFL.
But Mike, you even said it yourself on Thursday. The guy doesn't even look like he's interested in playing.
No, it don't. But just because we're looking at his facial features. Okay, we don't know what's going on in that building, and everybody wants to make a big deal because he turned around and said, "Oh, well, what meeting did we have?" You know why he said that? And I told you that on Thursday, Pat. He said that. Oh, well, I don't know what meeting you're talking about because you don't want to answer questions about it. That's why he said what he said. So people are going to speculate. Trust me, if he was a cancer, as much as people are making him out to be a big, mild discontent, do you really think Howie Roseman's going to keep him on this team? No. AJ's got nothing. AJ has nothing to be mad about. AJ got his money not once but twice since being here, and he's a Super Bowl champion. Okay, he can be frustrated with the offense. He's got every right to be. But as far as him wanting to go anywhere, like people really need to wake up and and look at this for what it is. He's not being a mild discontent. He's not doing sit-ups in his driveway. Okay, he may read a book when he's on the sideline, but maybe he's reaching for inspiration on something. We all got to reach for something, especially if you play ball. Sometimes when you play ball, you're not playing your best. Okay,
go ahead,
Al.
This in real quick because here's the other thing is, tell me a top tier wide receiver who is a bit of a diva. Just point one out to me right now, because there isn't many. They're all divas. I mean, look when the Bengals are struggling, Jamar Chase he's upset. You see it all the time. Not one, not the other. Yeah, he's gonna have diva-esque moments. So get over it. Like
but Al, you just answered the question. You just answered your own question. You said when the team is struggling, this team is 4-2. This team,
but they're not struggling. They're 4-2. They're 4-2. They're not 2-4.
Now listen, hold on,
man.
There's a difference between struggling to win and struggling in general. Like these guys, it's not click. A lot of these games have been very clunky, if you want to call the term clunky. They don't always. They're not smooth. They're not the most flowing wins that we've saw them do, especially over the end of the last season, and. They have a new play caller, and a lot of things have changed. And these guys are human beings, too, who don't always – maybe they don't see eye to eye with some of the calls. Maybe they don't see eye to eye how the scheme's going. Or maybe they're just not getting what they're used to, the production, and things aren't going their way. You're dealing with a human being. We know what professional athletes are like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, the Rome's burning down, but there is some problems. Even on defensive, the defensive calling is showing. The Giants, that was a trap game at its finest right there. The Giants were ready for us. We weren't ready for them. We were probably looking right past them. We probably were just like, we can squeak by this one.
And I would agree with you, Al. I feel like, as much as we wanted to harp on Kevin Patullo and his play calling, like we got to get on Vic Fangio a little bit here. The defense looks like Swiss cheese, whether you're missing pieces or not. Like, why aren't these guys prepared to step up in these roles? It's not the next man up mentality like it's been in the years past. Like these guys are showing
because they don't have they don't have the depth on the defensive line as they had in years past. Okay, like basically your defensive tackles, you got Carter, Jordan Davis, and Ajomo. Behind them, it's a crapshoot. Okay, your outside rushers. Okay, you're basically now with Zadarius Smith and Jalen Hunt. Okay, until whatever. You know what I was happy to finally see? They finally gave Ty Robinson a chance on Thursday night. And he did kind of make a little bit of a difference. Going forward, I hope they give this kid more of an opportunity to get in there and play. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is like this. Everybody, last year was a gift, okay? But guess what? Last year also snuck up on some people too. Now you're not sneaking up on anybody, and you're going to get every team's best shot. You are the defending Super Bowl champions. You are going to get everybody's best shot. But look at their start of their schedule, Pat. They played 4 pretty damn good teams, or I should say 5. They played 5 pretty good damn teams. And I'll tell you what, the Giants are not as bad as their record indicates. Okay? They're not. Okay? You got to remember, too, the first three that they lost, they had Russell Wilson, the quarterback. If they started the kid Dart, it may be looking a little different. They lost to Dallas by a field goal. So, I mean, again, you got to take it for what it's worth. I said in the beginning of the year that every team in the NFC East will have a winning record, and I'm still going to stand by that. I think this is the toughest division in football.
I agree with you as far as the Giants aspect of things. Again, because the Eagles brought no pressure really on Dart. I mean, they only got to him, one time as far as the sack?
Oh, no, there was pressure. There was pressure, but this kid, he's good. He got out of the way.
He got out of the way. He scrambled out of the pocket. He looked like Aaron Rodgers back there. He's a gunslinger, and I don't know if that's going to be a problem for the Birds to come into the future. But they got to figure something out because Zach Bowen on Thursday, they were
he had a bad game. Him. Yeah, he had a bad game. I will agree with that. Now, I don't agree with what Ryan just said right here. Nobody would ever want to say, I'd rather be 2-4 than 4-2. And you're talking about questionable wins. Again, these are questionable wins against good teams. I can see if they played the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, and the Bengals, who aren't good right now, and they barely beat them, then they had their losses. But they started at 4-0 against the Cowboys, the Chiefs. Who was the other one? Week 3. It was Cowboys, Chiefs. Tampa Bay was in there. I'm trying to remember who the third team was.
Why can't I think of it? Chiefs.
Oh, the Rams. The Rams. And of course, people are going to be like, "Oh, well, they got lucky. They blocked 2 field goals." You know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to do, to block not 1 field goal, but to block 2. I mean, again, sometimes luck goes your way. People forget that, that 17 Eagles team was a very, very mediocre team until Jake Elliott hit a 61-yard field goal to beat a lowly Giants team that year. So, yes, it's the ebb and flows of the NFL. You're going to be challenged, and sometimes it's not going to go your way. But again, I will bring this up like I brought it up on Thursday, Pat. The Eagles always lose to a team they should beat, and they always beat a team that we always have written off as a loss. So guess what? The 2 of the games that we had kind of going back and forth about them losing is either Green Bay or Detroit. So guess what? I think the Eagles are going to beat now one of them too.
Yeah, but I get it, like the Ryans, the Matty B's, like they're looking at from a point of, look, this team's only shown up for one half of football in the last several games. They look like they can't put together a 4 quarters of great football where they can keep a defense off balance. It just looks like the RPOs are not in place or something into the offense, or the offense play calling is not meeting with this scheme here. Something is not, and like I said, I'm not going to give Vic Fangio off the hook either, because the guys, to me, even in the preseason, even the guys who were auditioning for spots, didn't look that good either. And
But
now
Pat, you can't go off preseason. You can't go off preseason.
Yes, you can. Yes,
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, you
no,
can.
you cannot. No, you cannot.
Yes,
you can say
yes,
you can all you want. No, you cannot. They run a
Yes, you
vanilla
can.
defense. They run a vanilla defense. They don't even use the stuff that they put in their playbook, dude.
But
This is they use stuff in the. No,
Yeah, but the
you
guys
cannot use it.
No, but yes, you can, because Quinn Mitchell did not play a lick of preseason. This is who their backups came to play, and they can't stop anything. And you're seeing it now. The secondary, their secondary, the Eagles secondary cannot stop you and me from throwing the ball around. They stink.
Yes, I will agree. I will agree with that. I will agree that Keely Ringo has by far digressed from when they drafted him. Matter of fact, I was on with our boys yesterday morning. I was on with Joey Marks and James Scorsese. And Jimmy Scorsese is a huge Bulldogs guy. He loves Georgia. We were talking about Keely Ringo yesterday. Even he said he was surprised to see how far he's regressed being in the NFL from when he was in college. Okay. I will say this. Adoree Jackson should not see the field. But, if you're really looking at this and really, really trying to look at it, you cannot use preseason as a barometer, because preseason, all they're doing is looking at backups. That's all they're doing. The playbooks are so vanilla. It's so bad. They throw plays out there that they're never going to use, man. And I mean never. And that's on offense and defense. They don't do that. So here's what I'm saying. As far as the Eagles go, I feel a lot better because the Eagles get smacked around at least once a year. And it's been happening for the last decade. They get smacked around one game a year. And either they wake up from it or they don't. Minnesota's going to be the test. Let's see if they wake up and go out there and play ball. Now, there are trade rumors lingering with the Birds. I would like to see that happen while they're in this mini bye to help them out. And I don't know if you guys have heard. Did you hear the trade rumors? I don't know if you've heard them or not. One is for Denzel Ward of the Cleveland Browns, because Cleveland is selling. They are not trying to win. They are selling. Denzel Ward was one. The other one was Trey Hendrickson. And from what they're saying, what the Eagles can get back, or what the Eagles have to give up to get them, it's really not that much. So I would be looking for them to especially pull the deal for Denzel Ward. If you get down Denzel Ward in here, now you have a bona fide starter, Pro Bowler, that can go be cornerback one. Quinyon Mitchell becomes now your QB2, your cornerback 2. DeJean can go right in there. And if they get lucky and they add in a guy like Trey Hendrickson, now that's just going to help out the defensive line for when Nolan Smith comes back. Now they have a good rotation, and they don't have to worry about guys like Uche and Ojulari, because, Ojulari, I got to give it to him. He was getting close, man. Ojulari was really, really getting close on Thursday, but Josh Uche's production has kind of backed off a little bit. My man Mickey joining us from Washington State. Top of the morning to you, Mick. Top of the morning to you.
Morning, guys. And from Washington State, and Pat is right about preseason. Thank you. What's up, buddy?
Wait, who says Pat's right about preseason?
Mickey.
Listen, he's not.
He's not.
Mickey, I love you to death. You're a great dude. Great human being. I'm going to tell you right now. That's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
How's it wrong?
Because all right. So how many snaps did any starters take in the preseason? How many snaps?
None.
Exactly.
I'll still be. Hold on, guys. I'm still going to be on. I just got bounced off camera for a second.
But Al, this is where, again, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guys who are auditioning for the backups. And now with the Eagles dealing with injuries in the secondary guys are not performing as well. And this was going to come. It was written to you in the preseason. And now the secondary.
Listen, we knew that outside of Quinyon, there was a big drop-off. We knew that.
Yeah, but this is why we watch the preseason. This is why they have, because coaches, fans, they could take a look and see who's going to step up. And there was nobody stepping up in the secondary, not in the preseason. And this was yet to come. And the Eagles have been skating by victories for up until now. And now they can't get themselves off the canvas. And not just them. How about the Phillies? I know we just spent a good 25 minutes on talking about the Birds. To me, I'm looking for a direction. And to me, I know this is going to sound corny and cheesy, But to me, right now, your only hope is the Union because they're first place. They got everything locked up. But like the Phillies, to me, it's trouble. It's breaking up the band. I mean, if you look at the storylines in Philadelphia right now, you have to break up the Phillies. How many times we're tired of the Joel Embiid story? The Eagles story is fine. The Flyers are rebuilding, but it's going to take for the Flyers for some years to really get things together. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm waiting. They're rebuilding. I'm still waiting for the Todd.
Hey Pat, I want to answer this right quick from Ryan. Ryan sits there and says, Laura, they have to run it around 20 to 25 times, but also pass 20 to 25 times. Well, Ryan, guess what? They passed it 33 times. They ran the ball for 20 times. Barkley had 12 runs. Hurts had 7. Dillon had 1. That's literally 20 runs. 20 runs. So they did run the ball 20 times. They did throw it for 33. So yes, you can have less runs, and maybe, if you take away 5 passes and add it to that, you would have 25 runs and about 26 or so, 28 or so passes. I can agree with that. I felt like Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 33 times was a little too much, but
they got off the run too quickly. They've done that the last couple of weeks. It's absolutely true.
Well, I think that has to do with Barkley too. Barkley was banged up in both of those games too, but that's where you got to use Shipley and Dillon. You know what I mean? And they used Dillon, but the one big play that they give to Dillon, he coughs the ball up. So, you really got to really kind of take a look at it. I would start using Tank Brisbee as for running the ball. He's a running back. He can run the ball. I don't know why they won't use him in that capacity.
Didn't he fumble?
Yeah, he fumbled a kickoff, one of those wobbly ones. Which, by the way, too, you're also going to see they also signed the guy Gibson too, that was released from the Jets. They signed him too, so he's on their practice squad. So he might be coming over to help out with kick returns. I mean, I'm pretty sure the reason why he left is because they were the Jets. You know what I mean?
But I hear you. Like I said, the Eagles have issues, and if they, like you said, they got 10 days to try and figure some things out. But could you imagine if Carson Wentz drops like a 50 burger on the Birds? He gets a start. He's dropped 50 burgers. That's going to have this fan base.
But Pat, let it happen. Let it happen first. I'm not saying as Al would say, if nuts and butts, or whatever his saying is. But
nothing buts.
Big fan.
You see, right away, Pat, nuts and butts. I'm in.
Whatever it is, sign me up.
Right. But all right, let me get back on here. Sorry about that, guys. I literally had to pause the room there. The wife had to go from one side of the room to the other, so I had to go and do that. But yeah, that's the only thing, man. That is the only thing that was my room. There we go. Why is this not? There we are.
But
is it better now?
Yeah, you look great on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the Birds to me have
your background's off. That's all, Michael.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, why is my background off?
Go back, turn it on, turn it off again. Sometimes StreamYard's wonky like that.
All right, I'm gonna log out and come back in.
No. You don't have to do that. Just go into the settings. That's all. Whatever.
Live radio. But no, like I said, let's talk about this Phillies team here. I mean, because in 4 games,
do we really have to? I mean,
yeah, because
I'll be okay if we didn't.
I know, I hear you, and listen, it's just to me. I know it's been 72 hours, and I feel like how can I? I felt like the city was being optimistic to see if this team can make a run this era of Phillies baseball, and anything like the Friday prior to the postseason, I did the wraparound, and me and Matty B were going back and forth about where the nightmare lies for this team, where all the issues lie, and whether it was going to be leaving guys in scoring position, whether it was going to be the starting pitching letting you down. And I was wrong. The starting pitching to me wasn't bad. It was the bats getting cold. Matty B was right. The bats were going to get cold, and leaving players in scoring position was horrible. This team faced, in 4 games, had 38 strikeouts and only 29 hits. They left in 4 games. Game 1, 1 for 7 scoring position, 2 for 7. Even the game that they went off as far as offense, they went 3 for 9, and then back to 1 for 7 with players in scoring position. So that's a whole lot of not making up production when you have players in scoring position there. And it's a shame because, Trey Turner, ice cold, and it's crazy. Like everything that this team did through the course of the regular season just went out the window because it means nothing. Kyle Schwarber,
pretty much here. You want my rant? I'll give you my rant, Pat Bernard. Here's my rant.
Yeah, talk about it.
Here's my rant. I'll give it to you right now. It was the bats. The pitching was nothing. The problem. I said that from the get-go. This team will win or lose based on the bats, and I've been exactly right what it is. This team has given everybody that had any doubt in this team they solidified their doubts. That's what they did. They solidified their doubts. They sat there and said they go cold at the wrong time. They went cold at the wrong time. They make mistakes. Tomper makes bad decisions at times. Tomper made a bunch of bad decisions. The worst one was, and I know Mike said earlier he doesn't blame Orion Kirkring, and that's fine. I don't blame him per se either. But Tomper put him in a guy in a moment that he has known to struggle when things are difficult. Just like bring him in tough moments, he tends to struggle against. You bring him on a fresh inning, he's okay. You didn't do that. You did not do that at all. This is the problem that we've all seen. We have all just kept, and I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those people at times, have crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. And guess what? It has not happened. It has not happened. And unless some major changes come down the pike, there's going to be problems.
I agree. And again, to me, you just got to break up the band now. Like, again, I called for some new storylines in this city. Like, again, how many times did Mike hopped on there and said he's done with the Joel Embiid era? He's done with the Joel Embiid era. And I cannot, agree with that anymore. I think we're all done with the Joel Embiid era. Now with this Phillies team, this was in our minds to be the last glamoring hope for a chance to run it back, a chance to finally write their story, finish their story. And they can't, and they just didn't. Like you just said, Al, the top part of this lineup was nothing. Anywhere in this lineup didn't do anything. There was one.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
Hold on.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
Mike, there was one night where this offense showed up, and that was it. And after that, it's been nothing. Like, we need some new and this you're going to need a new era of baseball. But Mike, Al, I'm with you. If I'm going to blame anybody, it's got to start at the top. It's Topper. Topper put Orion Kirkring into a bad situation, knowing bad things were going to happen with a guy who's feasible in that situation. And all it was is and that's what I said. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, we can't really blame Kirkring. No, screw that. You can. I mean, all you have to do is throw it to first base, and you throw a wild pitch at home. Like, come on, that's basic fundamentals. That falls on the top. That falls on Topper and Kirkring. They should never be in a.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I'm gonna disagree with Joe Kirkring. What do you mean, hell? The kid panicked. He dropped the ball. He looked up and knew the run was. Okay, you can blame him for having an error, but you can't blame him because the kid tried to make a play. Okay, it happens, Pat. It happens.
Yeah, but he should have been that big moment. He should not have been in that big moment.
No, he shouldn't have been. That's on Topper.
That's what I'm saying. I don't blame Kirkring at the point as much as I blame Topper. We all knew that Ryan Kirkring has had problems
with inquiring runners. When he comes in, I said it that night. He was like 10 for 15. Those runners would score. So if you know that, okay, and you got Walker Buehler sitting in there.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay, that's who you go to. But no, you got to blame Topper for that. And I'm going to get back on this thing.
Yes.
What Matty B. King and going, homer alert. Guess what, Matty? They won the game. Okay, guess what? Miles Sanders did fumble, and the Eagles turned it into 7 points. Kelsey did knock the ball into Makuba's arms, and he did intercept it. And Baker Mayfield threw an interception. That's a part of football. But guess what? If they hit a 60-yard bomb the other night against the Giants, that's a whole other game. So there's your if on the other one. I mean, give me a break with this, dude. I love Matty, but Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I know you hate Howie, but come on. You can't sit there and go, oh, well, hey, if. It didn't happen. It happened the way it happened. The Eagles got their ass kicked on Thursday night. They deserve to get their ass kicked. I pretty much said it. So how is that being a homer? Being a homer is what? Like telling you, no, I disagree. I think they can figure it out. Dude, they got a track record of figuring it out and winning. Like, I don't understand what more this guy needs to do. He says Howie Roseman's the worst general manager. Well, he's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years and has won one. He's got 2 over the last 7. So how bad can the guy be? How bad can he be? His teams are getting there. His team was a constant playoff team with the exception of 1 year. 1 year, they didn't make the postseason. Sirianni doesn't know what it's like not to make the playoffs. But yet, you want to sit there and kill the team all the time. Like, I understand he's got a narrative. I get it. He doesn't agree with Howie Roseman. Just the same way as I don't agree about Joel Embiid. I respect that. He's got an island. He's standing on it. But you can't sit there and say, well, if this happened, and if this happened, and if this happened, and if this happened. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. Okay? You can say whatever you want to say. The Eagles played against 4 pretty good teams to start the season, and they beat them all, with the exception of the Broncos. The Broncos came in here, and the Broncos handled their business, and the Eagles blew that game. They were up by 14. That's a game they blew. The only game this year that they were really out-physicaled, outmanned, and outperformed was Thursday night. Thursday night, they got their ass handed to them by the Giants because they took the Giants lately and thought they could just walk in there and win a game. And that's what happened. They got their asses kicked. And guess what? It happens to the Eagles at least once a year. That they get their
teams, yeah.
But it does, though. Like, usually with their track record, they get their ass handed to them, and then they kind of right the ship. Like, I don't understand why people can't see that this ship can be righted. Like, it's not all doom and gloom. They just beat 3 teams that were, Dallas wasn't in the playoffs a year ago. But, again, Dallas is a better team than a lot of people are giving them credit for. Okay?
Yeah, but, again, Mike, the way Matty B's looking at it, you got to take it from his pupils, too, is that this team's only getting by – squeaking out wins out of their butts. I mean, showing one half of football is not good enough. They're not dominating like they were. And like you said, maybe they got to get to the bye week to reset everything to figure this all out. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to have to take for this team to get off themselves off the campus.
But you can't change the narrative, though. That's what I'm saying. I did not disagree when you guys said that they're only playing one half of football. You never heard me disagree with that statement. But all I'm going to say to you is this. How good do you think this team's going to look when they finally do play a full 60 minutes? Because if they're playing 30 minutes and they're beating teams that were in the playoffs, that were, and they're not giving up 14-point leads and not trying to sit and run out the clock with, a whole half to go, when they start playing, then how good can this team look? Now, whether they get there or not, that's going to be on them. Then we can criticize more. But you can't criticize them for how the ball bounces their way in the beginning. Sorry, not sorry. I was getting 23 vibes with this team. But, when they played that Tampa team and they exercised that demon off of them, yeah, I kind of looked at it a little differently. And as far as the Phillies go, Pat, I think Topper's got to go. I think Castellanos needs to be traded. And I would do everything in my power to keep Harrison Bader on this team.
Well, that's what Joe Hale says. I think major changes are coming with Phillies. Bader's back. Nick Castellanos gets traded. Thompson needs to be fired. Bum gets traded. I think those 2 are going to be the major 2 parts of this team. 3 major parts. But, Topper will be gone, and I think Topper will be gone, and I think that Casty and Ballmer are going to be shipped out of here. I mean, they're writing on the wall for Ballmer's already been there, or Casty's there because he's not playing every day. Ballmer is just underperforming. Well, he's been on the Phillies block rumors forever.
Yeah, right. And the Phillies are actually linked to the kid coming over from Japan, and he's a third baseman. So they're linked. We're trying to Actually, they're the first ones that are meeting with this kid. So they really are going after this kid from Japan. He's played 8 years over there. He's 25 years old. He's already got I think he's got 270 lifetime home runs over there. So I look at it like this,
But that's
Boom's going.
Mm-hmm. But again, kind of going back to the original storyline. Again, guys, this is the PM and the AM show on It's Around Sports. For the sports identification, guys. Hit like, subscribe to all our shows because in a little bit of time, we will have from our guys from across the state. That's right. It's Around Sports covers everything PA. Those guys will be talking pre and post Steelers show game. So guys who want to tune in with them, with John Phillips, Will Arkins, those guys do a phenomenal job over there. But listen. Yeah, Mike, it just seems like to me in Philadelphia sports, like I said, we just need a rehaul. Again, to me, the 76ers team is just going to run the same old storyline because the coach, Nick, because
God bless you.
You got a banged up Paul George, a banged up Joel Embiid. You don't know. You keep on hearing the same storyline. Oh, he's looking great. He's in great shape. He's in great shape. You hear that, and then by November, this team's already into the toilet. There's a bunch of young guns who can play, but again, because you're paying the big money to the old names, you have to use them. And to me, I'm sorry. I love the fact that the 76ers are going back to their old jerseys, but is that a ticket sell to get you back into the building?
Yes. It is. Oh yeah.
Because you have nothing that's going to work.
Yeah, Pat. Last year, no BS, right? If you wanted to go to a Sixers game and you went to StubHub, you could have got a ticket for $4. But here's the whole thing. The processing fee from StubHub was actually 3 times the amount of the ticket. So you spent $20 and you were able to get in to go see the Sixers last year. That's how bad it got. The tickets were $4, but the processing fee was 3 times the amount of money. So, Pat, you got background, man.
No, again, to me, I don't see where this team could be a contender anywhere at all. I mean, again, Daryl Morey is going to tell you what he needs to tell you by saying we're going to get younger, which they are. But again, when you have Joel Embiid on this team, you're kind of doom and gloom for your own demise because he's not going to get you anywhere. He's never going to win. So what are we doing here? You could just admit the 76ers front office can admit they won't. The process was nothing. 10 years of a failure to us. It was a good try, good attempt to.
They'll never do it. Just so you know.
But no, it's over. The part.
It's too late.
I'm okay with that.
Listen. It's not. It's admitting fault or not admitting fault or whatever term you want to use. Number one, no organization will ever admit fault. Let's just throw that out there. Number two, the Phillies. I know you're talking about burning it down, Pat, and they're not going to do that because just like the Sixers, they're kind of linked. They're stuck. They're in a long-term relationship with 2 guys at least.
And they have no trade clause. Both him and Turner.
You could try to trade him to wherever, Harper and Turner. You ain't going to get it unless they want to go. Hey, maybe Harper does wake up and say, you know what? It's just not working out here, and I'm getting older, and I do not have time. I'm making $25 million a year, which was great when I started, but now, I don't want that, or I want an extension, or I want something, I can see something like that happening. Would not surprise me, but we're not there yet. My point is, we've got a lot of big questions. How do you get rid of Bohm? Where is his value? You're not going to get much of a value for him. How are you going to get rid of Castellanos? What is his value?
Oh, Cassidy will go somewhere. I mean, to be honest with you,
some team is going to need a DH. Will probably take him on. My point is, you're not getting any. Excuse me. You're not getting anything for them. If anybody's sitting there trying to get a haul for any of these guys, you're not getting a haul. You're lucky to break even.
No, I mean,
pay to get like a guy like Cassidy's off your payroll.
I disagree with you. I think Cassidy's got value. I mean, granted, he's not going to get you your top prospect of your minor leagues. No, but you could send him somewhere. Like I would send him back to the Reds. To be honest with you, trade him back to the Reds. Then he can go there, play his year, get his 30 home runs, okay, and be worried about mediocrity.
The Reds want, by the way.
What's that?
The Reds want the other bopper on the team. They want.
Well, you know what? They can have him too. Because you know what? He came up small in this postseason. Like I'm done with these guys coming up small. Like I don't care that he went out and hit we would have killed Ryan Howard if he would have went out and hit 58 home runs and then did bat it the way Kyle Schwarber batted. Okay, Schwarber doesn't get a pass. Okay, you had 56 home runs in this season. You mean to tell me, yeah, you hit 2 of them in the same game when it was an elimination. When they needed you to put bat to ball, Harper, Turner, and Schwarber were nowhere to be found. And I'm sorry, Bohm was not a 4. He shouldn't have been a number 4 hitter in that lineup. I'm sorry, he takes way too many pitches.
Rob Thompson blunder.
Yes, again, we could do that, but again, Bohm didn't provide any type of pop. He's a singles hitter. He's a singles and doubles hitter that plays third base. Somebody will take him. Okay, like I'm in such there's so many pieces that I would want to move. Like I said, this kid that's coming over from Japan, he's played 8 years over there. He's got 265 career home runs. He's a 290 hitter. Okay, which means he hits for average. Okay, he's a 290 hitter. Okay, he's got a ton of doubles from over there. Now, is that going to equate to the major league game? No, but he's what we're looking for. This is the kind of person that the Phillies need to try and go and invest in. And then you bring up guys like Crawford, okay, or maybe even a Racones Jr. I don't know. Is Brandon Marsh even on this team next year? That's how cold he went.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Listen, you can look almost at anybody in the lineup and point at them. I mean, are you like, do you give what's his name, Bryson Stott a pass? Because
I would give him one more year. If he doesn't, because he's been regressing every year, but his defensively, he's been okay. Defensively, he's been okay. He's been able to go ahead and do what he's needed to do. So I would give him another year to try to work his kinks out behind the at batting wise. But if he continues to regress, you give him one more year. He regresses, get him out of here.
I don't right, Mike. I think you're onto something here. I mean, because if it wasn't for his defense, I think that kind of saves his job. I mean, you go from being the leadoff hitter to batting 8th, 9th now. And that's where you're the most comfortable hitting. But I mean, not every batter could bat 8, 9 because the whole lineup needs bat there right now because that's how cold they've been. No, but for Stott though, I mean, I think like you said, this is your last chance for romance to make something happen because if you can't, you gotta get shifted.
Defense is good, and if he's batting 9th, you can get away with a little bit less as long as he's working pitch counts. That's where he can be a selling point, and he's young. I mean, that's the other point, and he's young. That could be the difference right there for him. But I mean, you could point to almost anybody in the field and go, he let us down, except for Bader. And I think everybody, if Bader brings this kind of energy next year, then he's gonna be worth whatever you have to get him to stay here. But the point is,
I don't know because
this field and be disappointed in them.
And that's how, like, again, was this signs of Topper showing desperation? I mean, the guy had a hamstring injury, and you need him to bat because the whole lineup was cold. Usually, you don't have Sosa start games. You needed Sosa to start a game because he's usually better off coming off the bench and being a power plug than being a star. I mean, he showed signs. Topper was showing signs of desperation. And like you said, though, Mike, what blooming idea do you have, Bohm, in that 4-hole? You need a cleanup hitter, and this guy, well, then again, your whole lineup has been ice cold. I mean, this is why I'm going to go back to my question. I'll ask you guys, and I'll go to myself for last. Mike, where is, you can't even do a Happy Valley show anymore about being happy. There's nothing, you don't even have a comment.
Oh, dude, listen, man. That is, you want to talk about a dumpster fire right there? Did you see the videos of that dude leaving the field yesterday? Holy cow, bro. My man was literally just, it was bad. It was so bad with him. He literally, he got booed from the middle of the field all the way to, I'm trying to think, all the way up the tunnel. Even people up the tunnel were booing him. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you never seen that. And one guy had to be restrained by the state police because he was yelling at him about how bad he sucks and everything else. Like, it's bad in Happy Valley, man. Like, it's really going to be hard for him to, I think, for him to continue.
Yeah, Mike, like you said, he's a great recruiter, but like at this point, the fans are calling for your job. It's
Dude,
embarrassing.
the alumni's calling for his
You're,
job.
yeah, I mean, you got a whole stadium packed. It's a whiteout for you to lose your job. Like it's embarrassing. Like I said, I always have in the back of my mind. All right, this is being optimistic. This is going to be a team that kind of bounces back. They're always, he's finally going to climb over the hill. He's finally going to get on. He can't even get on the hill to climb over it. So again, like I don't know. I'm kind of lost on all the 4 teams. Like I said, I'm being patient with the Flyers. I could do that because we just got to see what is. It's a real rebuilding process. I'm okay.
Listen,
the 76ers kind of stalled. The Eagles are I need to see something. I need to see 4 quarters of football from them. The Phillies, I think you got to break up the band for me. And I know it's not your realm of 4 for 4, but to me, the Union right now are your safe bet as far as being a contender, number 1 seed.
So,
like they turned their franchise around, and right now they got like I said, they're going to get a bye. To me, the Union right now is your safe bet. But go ahead, Mike.
Pat, I just wanted to ask you, how much does Subaru Park hold down there? What's that, about 12, 15,000?
It probably close to 30.
Really?
30? If that.
Right. They would be the only people to go to a Union parade if they win. But I'm not knocking it. The Union are playing good. They're playing good soccer. They did win their league's, what's it, the Shield?
18-5.
Yeah. The supporter shield.
Well, here it goes. Stadium capacity is 18.5 for soccer and 26,000 for concerts.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that would probably be like, and I hope they do. I hope they do win it for the city because, they were close a couple of years ago, right? Remember them and the Phillies? Phillies lost the World Series. They lost the MLS Cup the same day. So, it was kind of cool to see. I hope they do it. But as far as the other teams go, I don't know. There's somebody's going to take a hit for this season for the Phillies. I don't know who, but I'm sorry. There's no way you can run it back with Topper. I think Topper's got to go. And I just don't know if they're going to really do that. I don't think they're going to do that. And as long as he's here, if Topper stays, Castellanos is gone. You can see the writing on the wall there with that one. I'd be real surprised if they try to keep him here. So with him leaving, the Eagles, I'm going to let the season play out. You know what I mean? Because we owe them that. They are defending Super Bowl champions. We owe them that. Okay? They didn't start strong last year, and they end up winning 20 out of 22 games. I think we owe them that much to let them see what gets figured out. I'm not saying that we can't. Hold on, Pat. I'm not saying that we can't, bring up what they're doing wrong and how we feel about it. But what I'm saying is you owe them the benefit of that doubt. They've earned that. And, like I said, I was real honest. You can go back and watch, the birds fly by. I was honest when we got on. We got our ass kicked by the Giants. But I will say this, Giants fans who are family related and likewise already said that they're not looking forward to the rematch. I mean, they literally told me that night, I'm not looking forward to the rematch because you guys will have Jalen Carter. You will have Landon Dickerson. Okay? He goes, and we got to go there. And knowing what we just did, he goes, it's like a gnat walking up and smacking a dragon. They said, he goes, you can thank the New York Giants later for waking you guys up. He goes, but it's a win is a win, and they're going to take it. And they deserved it. The Giants were the better team on Thursday night. They were the more prepared team on Thursday night. So you have to tip the cap and let it go. But that does happen in football. Like people, the only team that was ever perfect was in 72. So think about that. From 72 to now, look how many great teams there were. They've all suffered losses.
So, Mike, and I kind of agree with you. I mean, like, again, you bring up how good the difference would have been if maybe Jackson's Dart would have got the start from the start of the season. Their record could be a little bit more different than what it is now, sitting at 2-4. And like I said, I talked to our good buddy, friend of the station, friend of the
Mike.
show, Pudgy Mike, and he even said himself, he said, Pat, I got to be honest, like I thought this was going to be an automatic Birds win. I didn't think anything of it. He's like, the Giants shocked me. And, Mike's just like us. He's straight up about the Giants. And, yeah, he brings up a good point. Like, the Giants fans, were ready for a beatdown at the Meadowlands. And, no, it was absolutely – it was the –
It's funny. I think Giants fans won a loss. I know I have a handful of Giants fan friends who are upset that they didn't lose.
Yeah.
Because they want change. In the change, that's probably a change in the coach, a change in ownership, or not ownership, but
GM
managers and all that stuff. But I know some people are upset that they actually won.
Yeah, like I said, my kid. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
No. Go. You go, Mike.
Like I said, man, my kid called me right on the phone and said, "Dad, I did not see this coming." Like, a lot of people know my kid was a part of a Giants a Giants show, and he told me, he goes, "Wow," he goes, "This kid's the real deal, Dad." I said, "Yeah, he is. He's the real deal." I said, "Now imagine if he would have played the first 4 games." You know what I mean? I said, the Giants, I said, would be like, or I said the first 3 games, because that was his 3rd game. So if you look at it, I mean, look at Jackson Dart. I'm just going to bring it up right now. He beat the LA Chargers. He lost to the New Orleans Saints, and then he comes and beats the Eagles. So he beat 2 playoff teams from a year ago. But if you look at it, he beat 2 playoff teams at home. Now, let's see what they look like when they got to go back on the road now and see if they can build off this momentum. I told you, when we had Mike on the show, what did I say? I told Mike, I said, hey, I think the whole NFC East is going to have a winning record, which means I think they're going to be 9 wins and more, because I didn't think the Giants were as bad as people made them out to be. Now, them losing Malik Neighbors hurts them, because he was their stud wide receiver. But, as long as they keep relying on Theo Johnson and Wendell Robinson, they're going to be okay. They just got to run the ball a little more. They don't really run the ball a whole hell of a lot. But I like them. I think Washington's coming back to the pack more than jumping ahead. I think they're coming back to the pack a little more. I think the Birds are going to come back. Would I be surprised if the Eagles went 12-5 this year? No, but I still think they can go 12-5 and win the division. I said 13-4. I think they're only going to have 4 losses. So we already got 2 out of the way. So let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But again, guys, tonight, for all you night owls, including myself, since we're off tomorrow, get to check out our man Matty B. Again, guys, 10 o'clock tonight. He's got you covered. The mayor from Mayfield will be breaking down everything. Again,
all sunshine and rainbows coming from Mayfield.
Mayfield, not Mayfair, Mayfield.
Yeah.
Jesus, God, Pat.
Sorry.
Dude, you're talking. Your head and mouth play Marco Polo more than anybody I know.
You should see what else plays Marco Polo, but that's another.
Yeah, but the problem is he uses his head and mouth to play Marco Polo, and that's the problem.
I thought it was Marco. I thought it was Marco and Polo.
But anyway, again, guys. Again, we got Matty B tomorrow morning. Yes, a special edition. We got the Attacking Third with myself. I get to play with myself once again. 9 o'clock on Monday morning.
No different than any other day.
Wait, again, guys. Stay tuned. We got that going on. Hey, do we blank out here?
You blanked out.
You blanked out. You talked about playing with yourself. All of a sudden, you're off screen there, buddy. I don't know. I'm starting to worry about you.
Oh, well, maybe.
Pat, what's the meal of the day today? Let me guess. You having pasta?
Oh, dude, it's Monique's birthday. I'm going right for Maggiano's, the new Italian spot. Going to get some pasta.
Oh, the new Italian spot. Maggiano's is all over the place. But, hey, listen, tell the lovely Mo we wish her nothing but a happy birthday. And you better make sure you're –
She's lucky she gets to wake up to this site every morning, this work site.
Yeah, that poor one. I'm surprised she ain't blind yet.
You know why Pat just went blind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Al, what are you doing? Are you throwing something on the smoker? You become the smoker king.
Not with the weather the way it is, so that really tossed that. Was the original plan. I was thinking about a pork butt, but that kind of went to the wayside. So I'm going to have to flex. So most likely I might have to do an Italian meal tonight. So I have to, really steal from Pat's bag of tricks.
Dude, I'm doing a chili casserole.
Ooh.
You basically you take hash browns, the shredded hash browns, you layer them on the bottom of a baking pan, and then you top that with cheese. Over top of the cheese, you do a layered like chili, and then you cover it again with cheese.
It really is a good chili day. That is absolutely
Yes, and we got stress-free football on. So, all right, I take it Pat is probably gone. So,
mentally and physically,
yes.
he is gone.
All right, so let's wrap this up there, Albert. What do you say?
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for Mike Laro, for myself, and the phantom known as Pat Bernard. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. As Mike said, stress-free football, unless you're laying shillings down, then bring on the stress, right? So other than that, guys.
Hold on. I also forgot before we go, my picks today. I actually, the one good thing that came out of Thursday night, I had the Eagles-Giants over 41.5. That actually ended up happening. I got Denver in the early game minus a touchdown. I took Indianapolis minus 6.5 over the Arizona Cardinals, which, by the way, Kyler Murray's not playing in that game today. So I took the Cowboys minus 3.5 over those lowly Carolina Panthers. I took the LA Rams minus 7.5 over those Baltimore Ravens. And my upset of the week, I got the Tampa Bay Bucks laying 3, but I think they beat the San Francisco 49ers outright. I don't even think it's going to be close. So there are my picks. I wrote them up. I will let you guys know how I make it out on Wednesday night for Props, Locks, and Parlays, as me and Paul Spencer have been going head-to-head. Paul, if you're watching, buddy, you went 3-2-1 yesterday in your college picks. I went 3-3 yesterday. So that's how my picks have ended. Pat, we're getting ready to get out of here. So wave bye.
Oh, hey.